Everybody's got a price for the $1 Million Man.
Who's that kid? Nick. He looks like Beaker from Muppets.
The one on FS1, Nick Wright. Yep.
Yeah. I got something.
That's amazing.
I
did not even. I love that.
If I get 5 women and they're all in the same room with me, we're going at it at 110%.
What's up, everybody? Lazy Booking Podcast Tuesday night here on A2D Radio with your boys, Chrome. And over here, I got my boy Arch. What's up, brother?
What's happening? What's going on? How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's having a good week. Hope everybody had a good weekend.
Absolutely.
Let's talk some wrestling.
And in a minute, we're going to be joined by another one of our compadres. We'll wait on that while he gets himself together. Oh, man. But yes, we got a fun week. We're going to be talking Saturday night's main event. We're going to preview the show. Here's our boy. There he is. Look at his hands.
There he is.
Let's put him where he belongs. Guest always gets the featured spot in the center.
Take a bow. Welcome
in, everybody. Peter Evans, A2D legend, has been in this very ring. What's it? Clips, film don't lie, clips don't lie. I
film don't lie. So you got me double duty today. Technically today,
running double duty today. I love it. We're keeping
double
it busy.
Double do.
But hey, it's gonna be a good show, and let's show a little bit of love here to our sponsor, Dr. Paul Vidal at Specialized Physical Therapy. Find him in Burlington and Cherry Hill, New Jersey, and find him on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. No appointment necessary. So if you have any aches, pains, anything brand new or anything long-lasting, existing, please hit up his award-winning team. They'll get you checked out, and they will get you on the path to feeling your best possible self. But, guys, big week this week. And if you're out there, Facebook, YouTube, X, Twitter, wherever you're at, please throw us a like, subscribe, give us a follow, share it out, and most importantly, join the conversation. We're going to talk Saturday night's main event. And at the end of the show, there's a list that came out in March, and we never talked about it because we weren't on the air. But it came back up this week. Yeah, we were off the air. We come back till March. So, but it kind of was refreshed this week on a couple of sites where somebody re-released it, and it's the WWE's top 10 heel turns, which we always love talking heel turns. So we're going to go over that list, and if we agree, disagree, or anywhere in between, the three of us. But, guys, our opening topic, brought to us by Specialized Physical Therapy. CM Punk will defeat Jey Uso to win the WWE World title at Saturday night's main event. Do you agree or disagree? We're going to allow our guests to start off this evening. So, Peter, please, by all means, you agree or disagree?
No pressure.
I disagree. I either think Jay wins or it's a non-finish. Yeah.
So how do you think we get to a non-finish?
Just Bronson and Braun just wreck everyone and leave, or Brock comes back.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could see that. But do you think they want to have a title sitting out? I didn't even think of that as a possibility, really.
I mean, do you think they would have just want to crown someone for the sake of crowning someone just to fill the void? But they are in a kind of advantageous position to where they can go so many different ways. They kind of pigeonhole themselves a little bit with the CM Punk being the number one contender to Battle Royal. Seth injury news coming out that he was hurt, and then for whatever reason, not putting Braun in the Royal Rumble. I'm like, okay, but I mean, we all like, if you're going to hot shot Breaker to the title, now was ever a time to do it, right? And I don't think we would have felt, the majority of us wouldn't have felt like it was too early. You know what I mean? But yeah, I kind of think Jay's turning heel. That's I don't know if he's turning heel, but I think he may take advantage of whatever happens with Punk, and that's Punk has more heat with a la Sorry about that.
You're fine. That's a very regular occurrence on this show. Whether it's my 4 or Eric's.
A la revisionist, like the revision of the vision, right? The revised vision. I don't know. Like it's something to like CM Punk with the chase. I almost don't want him to win it again until Mania. Like I feel like any other moment is just too small, kind of per se. And if you do non-finish and somehow, or even if you put it on Jay or what have you, you can turn it into a triple threat match where, I mean, you can even do that where Breaker forces it, like he just terrorizes the whole night. He forces his way into the match and make it a triple threat, and then he ultimately wins. I mean, that's where I think you can kind of go with it. I don't. My least likely option of all the scenarios is Punk winning. That's me because I don't think he needs it.
Interesting. I have a philosophy. So Eric, you go. Before I get into mine, I want you to go. I believe this. I have made a very different swerve for anyone who watched the show last week. We kind of opened up with the similar topic of, was this a smart move by WWE to put them together? And my initial reaction coming out was one. But I have swayed, and I will await for Mr. Archer to go through his here first before I dive in. So please, by all means.
All right. I've kind of been swayed back and forth as well. So last week, I preached about Jey Uso is not the right guy for this match. I was in the LA Knight camp. We also discussed a Dom Mysterio or a Penta or somebody different to just shake things up. Not saying that it was the right move or the wrong move, but just something to really shake things up because you've had the same guys chasing the title for the last few months. Now with Seth out, I understand circumstances. They rendered their the poor situation with the injury, and now you're forced to come up with something on the fly. I truly think that the original plan for WrestleMania was Seth holding the title till Mania, probably facing CM Punk. Unfortunately, we're not getting there. This is where we're at now. Going and to your point, Pete, I just don't know if CM Punk winning the title benefits him, for one. Two, what is next for him? I mean, basically, you're holding that to WrestleMania, but you also have right now Cody Rhodes as your top babyface. Mm-hmm. So are you going to have two babyfaces going into WrestleMania as champion? Not typically the situation that we're in. So with that,
this kid is like a kid in a candy store. I think I know where he's going, but
I think Jay. I keep going back every minute. I just don't know this logical situation. I don't think Jay's turning heel, but I understand him turn if it does happen. But right now, and we talked about this in our chat yesterday with Nick, like Jey Uso is still selling a ton of merch. Jey Uso is still extremely over. I know the YouTube dislikes. I mean, you got the internet wrestling. They don't like anything the same. They want everything different. They want everything now. Myself included, guilty as charged. But keep going back and
Jey
forth.
Uso until they got Jey Uso.
Right.
It's just how it works.
And then last week, I thought maybe Jimmy would possibly cost him the match and have Punk win the title. I'm going to stick with Punk for now, but I could totally see it either way. But I find it really challenging for Punk, even if he does win the title. Is it going to be a long reign? Probably not. And only because of the fact that you're going into WrestleMania possibly with your top two baby faces with championships. And we talked about last week how there's just no adversity going into these stories with especially Cody Rhodes. Like you got CM Punk as your champion. There's no. He's the champion. So where's the adversity there? And where's the interest? And where's that story culminate? Typically at WrestleMania, but if they're champions already, there's no chase.
Okay. All right. I have put the pieces together of where they're going to go here.
The lean in is crazy.
So,
the lean into the character is
I
ridiculous.
have to tell you guys right now, I see exactly where this is going. Listen, I have sat on this and thought about this over the last week.
Mhm.
And I agree, Eric. This was originally going to be a Seth Rollins, CM Punk. Seth Rollins gets his comeuppance, and CM Punk gets his moment at WrestleMania. Last year, he got the main event. This year, he gets the title victory at WrestleMania.
Mhm.
He walks out with the shining moment at the end. That was the original plan. I believe we have deterred here. Now, we're talking about Jey Uso. You're correct. Jey Uso does not need to turn heel. However, what we could be seeing is the setup for one Mr. Jey Uso to walk out as champion and a turmoil amongst the family lead up to a triple threat at WrestleMania between Jimmy, Roman, and Jey for the world.
Not where I thought you were going with that. But okay.
Yeah, I like it if that's where you're going, if that's the direction. But then would that be that would be for the world title? That would be your main event for
that's correct.
That would be one of your main. So with that
or it opens. I mean, it depends on what I don't.
Depends on what Roman wants to do. If he's not,
right.
You're not first or last.
Yeah.
So with that, where does that put? Who's Cody's challenger?
I think Punk shifts over and Punk ends up challenging Cody.
Yeah,
at WrestleMania. You could see that. I mean, the only kind of wrench in that is I'm curious if Randy ends up being the opponent for Cody at WrestleMania. So you could end up seeing something along the lines of, I mean, what is the diagnosis for Seth at this point? Is he expecting?
I think he's in like a labrum. Is it a labrum or rotator cuff?
Okay, so we're not expecting him to be back, correct?
No,
I don't think so.
Okay, because I'm just thinking to myself, I'm saying for Mania, we're not expecting him to be back before then.
Right.
Okay. I was gonna say I could see like a tag team between him and Punk, an unlikely tag team against Braun and Bronson, but I don't know. I don't know on that. But
then your other thing is where does
you're talking about where does Punk and all these? I mean, it's October and we have 7 months to get there. So I'm not going to book the whole thing out at this point. But I'm just saying for where you're at, when you need to shift and you need to call an audible for the pieces that are in place now, and if you still want to do a long-term program with this WWE World title, I think it's the way to go. I don't know what I mean, then after that, so who's the challenger for Punk then? Is it Gunther after he beats John Cena?
Right, exactly. And that's kind of where, if you go back to the poll question, we all know, neither one of us said Punk is winning. Like that's the very low hanging fruit. But like Eric said, like where do you go from there? His comeuppance, his rub per se is with Seth. He's not there. So, and you really don't need Breaker to kind of fulfill that stuff role. You want that to kind of be something different. Hence why I think if you and then Breaker and Jay have history, right? You don't have to rush Breaker to the title. But to go to Crone's point, where I didn't think he was going with that, if you have Jay as a champion, you have him overcome Breaker, but have this friction, this long story with Jimmy, and then where does Roman fit in? And Roman's kind of just playing both sides, and everyone now, it's the original 3 members of the bloodline, but they all have a different edge to them now, right? And necessarily in this climate, you don't really necessarily need to be a face or a heel to sell merch. Hell, Dom is probably a top 5 merchant. He's supposed to be a heel, right? So if you're a face or a heel, whatever, if the crowd is into you, I mean, hell, look how much merch, how much bloodline merch we saw when Roman was the tribal chief. And what he was, you know what I mean? So it does a point to play into it, but I don't know, like, underlying theme is CM Punk doesn't need to win Saturday night. If he does, he does. I don't think he needs it because I think I don't see how they can get more steam out of that long term. And for me, once again, like, I want to see that payoff at Mania. And I think if he could stay healthy, and honestly, if you are the champion, right, you have to work. And we've seen him in other promotions recently, and even now, like, that heavy work rate as the champion and carrying that, his body may not be able to hold up.
You don't have to work. Not when you have Cody. Not when you have Cody. Because we're talking about a company that has, like, given the sweetheart deal to just about everybody at this point, right? Roman held the title for 4.5 years and he barely worked. Like, so let's be honest. Like, if you see him Punk, you don't have to work in ring that much. He'll show up though. Yeah. Like, Punk's a guy that'll be there. So I'm not worried about his contribution to the programming. I have no issue with him whatsoever. I just think, to your point, what the issue is where's the next? I mean, I think you could do something with AJ Styles and get us there.
I would love to see that.
You know, you haven't seen those two, I believe, since Ring of Honor go head to head. That's a match I would have loved to have seen just to be. I mean, I don't even know if they ever actually did in Ring of Honor, if I'm being honest. They were around the same time, but AJ might have been transitioning out of ROH when Punk kind of was in there. I don't know. But yeah, I just think it's an opportunity, guys, for them to do something different and maybe let this finally be the final bow on the bloodline. Have the three of them give you the Shield ending you never got.
Chrome, back to your suggestion, because I'm really intrigued about this. Didn't really think about that. Two things, right? One, the seeds were planted at Crown Jewel. Roman, the family's in disarray. There's this dysfunction. I don't want to see you till Christmas. Like, hilarious, but it's family fight, family argue.
Right.
Yeah.
And we've seen it work over the last 5 years with these guys. Another thing, so I was listening to Busted Open over the weekend, and they had an interview with Jimmy Uso. And Jimmy Uso was talking about how people think he's Jay on the street, and there's a lot of meat left on the bone with this bloodline story. Roman has gotten his moments.
Yep.
Jay has gotten his moments. What about Big Jim?
And that's that's honestly where I think it could lead to.
Like, Jim and Jay was interviewed by Busted Open a few months back, and he praised Jimmy up and down, like he's the better wrestler, he's the better worker. He had nothing but nice things to say, and Jimmy was like, "You really talking to my brother?" Like, he was like, he didn't say that. He didn't say that. Like,
right?
He actually did. But that right there, if you talk about bow tying this bloodline story, what better way to get the bloodline, get this finished, to have the third person in that picture finally get his flowers and get his moment? That'd be awesome.
And to think about it, right? Like, Roman's already been established. He has it there. And we've seen how this played out leading up to Crown Jewel. It's like, hey, Jimmy, maybe you're getting in Jay's way. And then you see the friction between Jay and Jimmy, where it feels like the common denominator who's getting the brunt of this, who's going to be the gum on the bottom of the shoe, has been Jimmy. You know what I mean? So,
I mean, in all honesty, for lack of a better comparison, he's been, the Xavier Woods to the New Day.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was the one that was taking the pins in tag matches and bloodline matches, him and Solo. I mean, it's kind of, he's been the one that, and then when Jay got his IC title run, got his world title run, Jimmy was on SmackDown and kind of, he get beat up by the what was left of the bloodline, the MFT Solo's group, and kind of just left to pasture.
It was weird because of Jimmy's placement on SmackDown this past Friday. I just was like, what are we, just because Drew mentioned your name? Okay, I get it. But where does that kind of leave Jimmy in limbo. And then there's a lot of this. Like I said, this is a weird spot to be in because they didn't plan to be here. But what you can have coming out of this, it's an opportunity for WWE to seize a moment to kind of cultivate and really not have a downtime, because you got this and you got Survivor Series, and then you're rolling in the Rumble season, right? So this is if they can make the best of it with the opportunity they have it presented itself, especially revolving around this World Heavyweight title, because obviously we know Breaker feels like it's his. Where does he come into play in all this, long term, short term? Yeah, I don't know. I like the Jimmy Roman. If it's for the title, cool. I don't necessarily know if it. I guess for Jimmy's sake, it needs the title, right? Because he's the only one who hasn't had one. So, I thought you were going with Punk turning heel, but that's where I thought you were going.
Well, listen, I mean, to me, I'm not saying it's not a possibility. They could do that. The reason I don't believe that's going to happen is another report that came out this week is they are still looking at they still plan to have some form of this vision, which I imagine will include Brock in a WarGames match.
Okay.
To having something where CM Punk is included, and Roman, I think, was a name they threw out. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, that was a Wrestling Observer. So they're still trying to figure that all out, and that's still the plan that they were. But you notice on Raw last night, they're still being introduced as the Vision, and Paul Heyman's still the Oracle. So I mean, does that mean they're going to have those two? Are they going to add somebody? I mean, Brock is with Heyman essentially in story. I mean, I don't know if that's the plan, but it's logical. But and we talked about this a few weeks ago where it was kind of like we weren't sure if it really fit or not. And do you bring someone else new? And it really doesn't. That really didn't make sense to us either. Whereas like you bring I think the rumored guy. Oh, go ahead. The rumor guy's Austin Theory that I
throw that name out there. Don't hate that name, by the way.
Me either.
No.
I need a more serious version of Austin Theory.
Yeah.
And if he is included in this group, right? It's the anti what we're seeing right now with Grayson Waller with the New Day, right?
Right.
This is I really believe that Theory is a tremendous talent. I think he was put behind the 8 ball with the hand selected, and it happened to Drew back in the day, right? The hand selected one by Vince. For whatever reason, this never seemed to work for young talent, but they continued to do it involving Vince. Having this opportunity now, whenever he's ready, because I know his injury is kind of like really open-ended.
Yeah.
I think it's a huge opportunity to put him in. Other than him, I can't believe in anybody else, including Waller joining this group.
I was just about to say, do you think like you can do a twofold, have Waller join the Vision and have turn on Kofi and Xavier?
Maybe if you want to turn them back to face.
Yeah.
I mean, you could pull that move as a transition to be able to get them back to where they're cheering, but
I think it's really tough right now to legitimize Waller the way they booked him, though. It's kind of like he's kind of just like a third wheel. He was a second wheel, now he's a third wheel. So it's like putting him there. Like Theory's been gone a little longer, and it's kind of that kind of I wouldn't say stink, but that stigma is kind of passed him by a little bit. So you can legitimize Theory much better than I think you can Waller.
Throw this out there, just especially for Saturday's main event and also maybe short term, is who's the one person that has as much vested in the get back against the Vision and also Punk. And we've seen, but we didn't see on Raw this past Monday.
The person that has, I guess, the most to gain to get them back.
Not so much to gain, but has enough skin in this game to where they feel the same way that Seth would feel about the betrayal.
I honestly don't know.
Roman?
No.
I mean, Roman would be, yeah, but I don't think it's Roman.
The man. She can come in. She can come in Saturday night's main event. She hates Punk. She doesn't like the Vision.
Whoa.
This is why I'm saying, like, Jay's just going to be there left. He's going to take advantage of opportunity. He's just going to be the last man standing, proverbially speaking, because, yeah, he's had these run-ins, but he's in there with somebody who has more heat than him.
Yo, guys, I got another WrestleMania idea. Just hit me. Okay. Let's say Roman's not included, and we have Roman against, we have Jimmy and Jay just as their own thing. You could do that. It'll work still. What if we get some story that leads, it starts at Survivor Series, it goes, or maybe you hold it to SummerSlam if Seth's not ready to go. Seth comes back. Guys, we know that Jon Moxley's in AEW, and we can't get a technical 3 NXT talented Shield reunion. But who brought them in?
Punk.
What if we get the Vision versus the reunited Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, who both have a chip on their shoulder to get back at the Vision, as well as CM Punk, who gets cost the title tonight. Saturday night. At Saturday night's main event.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
So going back to that
I need to write
WrestleMania,
for this damn company.
so Jimmy and Jay, so in that same interview I was referring to, said they have a bad stink in their mouth.
About WrestleMania 40?
About that WrestleMania 40 match. So they said the reason it didn't work was time. They just didn't have time. They didn't get a lot of time.
Talk about Jay and Jimmy.
Match. Yeah. So I'm sure they would be up for the opportunity to have a redo on that, and I think they would definitely put it all out there this time, and hopefully get some more time to do what they wanted to do.
Short term. So real quick, I know you guys are saying short. And just go back to the Becky point. Perfect thing you can do Saturday. Seth's music hits. Everybody that's going to be out, because I think we're going to have Braun and Braun. They're going to be involved somehow with Paul. His music hits. Obviously, it's not him, but it's Becky. It's just enough to distract everyone, and it's almost like Jay capitalizes. Because, right, how did he win the Rumble? He took advantage of opportunity. He's taking these proverbial shortcuts or these easy way out. And that doesn't hurt. That doesn't hurt CM Punk at all. I mean, I don't want to keep seeing him taking pins, but I'm trying to think how we get to that Jay and Jimmy with Jay being the champion and still protecting kind of CM Punk, and still I think knowing just kind of just revisionist history, looking at that, I could see that possibly, because that's like, oh shit, because we just had it at SummerSlam. You can't dip your foot in that well twice, right? But it's not really Seth.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
Yeah.
Because like I said, she wasn't on Raw at all.
Nope.
And now you have Bayley and Lyra moving on for tag team stuff. So what's the IC champion doing now? She probably doesn't even care about that belt, because now her husband's been turned on. You injured him, now he's on the shelf. And that promo she cut with Paul, that's like her number one priority is this get back.
By the way, it was a very uneventful Raw, by the way.
Yeah.
It didn't do much for me. I know. But listen, I think that you save her. I think you save that in the chamber. I don't think, we just saw her kind of confront Paul. And I don't know if I want to go right to it, to where she's if anything, I want it to be when Braun or Bronson are in a title situation with an opportunity to get that championship. That's when you pull the trigger on his music hits. Maybe something like you said, and maybe similar to how she came out before to help out Seth. She's got the hoodie on. She comes out, boom, hits him with a low blow, takes him right off in the balls, and then they take the pin and they move along.
Yeah.
I think you do something like that. Save that bullet in the chamber. Don't use it right now. Don't get too anxious. Like, that's the beautiful thing about this situation right now. Like, it's not beautiful because he's hurt, but it is, you're right. There are other factors of things that can go through here where we're talking about other ways that you can pivot. And they're very fortunate that they did have these kind of things, these irons in the fire. You know what I mean? But the thing with Becky is, again, it's something that could be extremely impactful if used at the right time. And being overly anxious to get through it or get to it, I think could be wasted.
I like your idea. Maybe not Saturday, but maybe at next Saturday night's main event, or maybe at Survivor Series, or like you said, like if you do the Saturday night's main event, John's last match, and the world heavyweight title's on the line, whoever's the champion, and it's Breaker or it's Bronson, that takes us over into the new year.
Yeah.
I think to your point earlier, Chrome, you got 6 months till WrestleMania, so a lot of time to strategize on when the good time would be to have that happen. I love the idea. I think there's definitely plenty of time to do that and make a decision. You could do it at the Rumble. She could distract them from winning. They could be one of the last two in there, and the music hits. You could be in Elimination Chamber where she winds up in the pod or like something crazy like that. There's a lot of possibilities for that.
Yep.
So lot on the onion to peel there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And speaking about a peeled onion, let's go on to our second topic here. We get our heel turn on SmackDown, guys. I think something that Eric released a video to Lazy Booking Podcasts social media this week that seemed to do very well in terms of views, discussing the situation where Tiffany Stratton ends up getting into trouble, getting attacked. Jade Cargill comes out, she pulls the save, and then she turns on her. By the way, needed to happen, like Eric said in the video. Did you guys see the video or the picture? The side by side, and that is not by coincidence. I think she knew exactly what it looked like and posed exactly like it, where they did the scar face from Lion King and her, and the way the scar is sitting on her eyebrow, it looks just like Scar from the Lion King. I'm telling you,
Scar never looked so good before, ever.
You ain't kidding. But I'm telling you, boys. Eric, I'm gonna let you dive in again because you kind of really hit into it. But I agreed with a lot of your take where this needed to happen. It's going to open up a lot of opportunities, and I'm telling you, it is time. Yep. I don't know if Jade would have been the person that I would have selected to do it, but I don't care who it is. Tiffany Stratton needs to drop this title because it is stale. It is awful. And I think that's a girl that needs to take a break, come back after 3 months, and be a heel.
Yep.
Yeah. So going to what I talked about the other day, definitely love the move as far as the execution is concerned. I think that this sets up the match on Saturday, and I would be very surprised if Tiffy walks out of there with the title. Long term, I think to your point, maybe she gets laid out and she's gone for a while. Maybe gets moved to Raw. I know Raw is a little heavy right now. Maybe you make a trade, something like that. But long term, who we haven't seen in quite a while is Bianca Belair. And that right there is a WrestleMania match if I've ever seen one. If you build Jade Cargill up to this monster heel, we saw it in AEW to an extent. I really liked how she was booked there. She was booked to be a monster. She was booked to be unstoppable. And I think you can recreate that in a WWE-esque way. And you've got plenty of time for the next few months to do that. You give her baby faces to work with and squash them and dominate. And then Bianca Belair comes back at the Royal Rumble or at or WrestleMania season. What happened, Jade? Why'd you do this? and it starts a natural feud and an epic WrestleMania match where Bianca's chasing for the title. I mean, I don't see. I just think it sounds simple but effective.
100% agree. It's right there. The story, and then when they had Tiff cash in back in January, I believe, when they tried to make her this face, that's when it lost the luster. And they never did the full send. And they've had opportunities during this title reign to turn her heel. She works better as a heel in this iteration of herself, of her character, what she presents on the mic, what she presents as in the ring as well. I mean, if they wanted to, we all seen it on what was it called? WWE Unreal. They could have just leaned into what she did to Charlotte, right? And still had the whole apology and lean into it and this yada
Probably
yada.
should have leaned into it.
Yeah. Like that's what you needed to elevate her. And now, like you said, it's kind of similar to when you talked about when we was talking about Jay, and then the fans wanted Jay until they got Jay. As a heel, it's different. You don't need to carry matches. Jay doesn't need to carry. She has so many. If you can do it with Nia, and just trust me, Nia's better in the ring than Jay. You can do it with Jay.
Mm-hmm.
You can do it with Jay. She doesn't need to do much. Has Michin. Who else is on there? B-Fab. Credible. Like you don't have credible faces on SmackDown yet. But then once Bianca comes back, whatever this is the longest finger I've ever seen to take the heel of my life. Longest finger I've ever seen to take the heel of my life. But that's a ready-made story right there. Or even if you don't go that route, depending on how long they want this title reign to be with Jade, which I think starts at Saturday night, Prime is ready for Naomi to come back. You know what I mean? And a year from now, you're in it, whatever it is, when she comes back, that's there for you as well. But obviously, I think WrestleMania 42, we get Bianca versus Jade for the Women's World Heavyweight WWE Women's World Heavyweight Championship. Women's Championship, not World Heavyweight, but yeah.
Yeah, listen. To your point, was that an opportunity? It probably was. You probably should have leaned into it at that point. They did it, and listen, I think it worked in the beginning, right? I thought it was a change of course. I think people really responded to the character in the beginning. My point now is that where I'm like, okay, I'm good, is I don't see any in-ring development. I actually feel like at points she almost has regressed. Like she's athletically incredibly talented, but there's something to be said for in a lot of your spots or spots in your matches. There are things that don't go right, and it could be some of it your fault and some of it not. But it's a partnership. So if unless somebody goes rogue, if one thing doesn't work, you both got it wrong. So I think that it's not just that. It's then we started to recycle back to Nia Jax, and the story was there was nothing different. The character didn't seem like she was any more like she may have said like, "Oh, I beat you before," but it didn't feel like a development of even confidence. So for me, with that's where I'm like, okay, well, this is not working for me. I used to enjoy her matches and be excited to see the progression that was coming, but it's not coming anymore. We're just kind of here. And I see what AEW is doing with Mercedes Moné, who's on a much higher scale. So I could see why they're going that direction. But regardless, we're putting so much behind this one person when there is other talent that deserves opportunities. And I just don't see the almost an entire year being undefeated thing with Tiffany. Like she lost every match going up to it. And I talk about this all the time, Eric. You know I do. I don't care if people go on winning streaks. But when you you have to maintain and obtain a level of credibility when it comes to these situations. And when you are in a situation where the title is the reason why somebody can't lose, like they just ate a mushroom out of a box with a question mark, it just doesn't make any sense to me. And that's where we're at. It's like she just got the star out of the box, and now she's just and can't lose for a damn year. It makes no sense.
You know, the one thing that I would wish that they would do more of that they used to do back in the day, where are these non-title matches? Like have a non-title match with a contender, and then have them lose. Like I said last week, adversity.
What's up, Dale?
Oh, I lost to them. Now they're going to get a title match. Now there's some doubt, and now they need to have their comeuppance. Like it's textbook storytelling.
Yeah.
Or
number one contenders match, like a proven match.
Yeah.
Like imagine if right around Mania they lean into that, right? They have her get the win on Charlotte. Imagine just visually. What do we always say? She's just fit blonde girl, right? What's the total opposite of that? Fit brunette. Imagine if Kiana James was her mouthpiece.
Oh, I mean 100%. But that, like,
You see what I'm saying?
yeah. Well, this is where AEW does get it right? Yeah. Is the title eliminator matches.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I like the idea that everyone who gets a title shot has to earn it, whether it's in a tournament or they have to win an eliminator match. You want a shot at the television championship or whatever, the TNT championship? Yeah. No problem. Got to go out and beat the person and earn the shot first. I love that idea.
And it sets it up because you get a rub from the person that's the challenger that you make them believable.
Yep.
Agreed.
Who better to beat to get that title match than the champion themselves?
Yeah.
It sounds too simple. It's a simple formula.
You'll hear every once in a while. Well, it was a recent match on the PLE where somebody got the pin on the champion. It was in a tag match or something like that. And then WWE will reference that. Like, yeah, well, he just pinned. What does this do for them moving forward? You have all these spot matches on Raw. You have 5 hours of 4.5 hours of programming a week.
The guy they did that with last was Jey Uso. Jey got the pin on Roman in the tag match.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got a title match. He didn't win, but he was legitimized because he just beat Roman, who Roman hadn't taken a pin in years.
You're talking about Money in the Bank last year.
Yes. And then he got the SummerSlam. And then he got 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah. So then that set up SummerSlam.
Yep. For
the title. So it's right there. There's your win. You don't need to do a one-on-one match. You did the tag match. Right. They got the pin. I mean, they've done it for a year, but they've gotten away from that. I think that would have been a perfect opportunity to at least and that's the thing with the babyface champions. We keep expressing this. If there's no adversity, then why am I rooting for this person? Like, there's nothing to fight for. There's nothing that is telling me that they're going to lose this match.
Right.
And we're going to probably talk about that next with Cody.
Yeah.
Feel free to dive into that one. I have zero shits. This is the first time in my life as a lifelong Cody Rhodes fan, and everybody knows it. And I love Drew, but I have zero shits to give about this match. I think, unless they shock me, and I said it last week, please, WWE, I challenge you to shock me. Shock me and have Drew win this match.
Yep.
But I'm not counting on it. I'm not holding my breath. And if that doesn't happen at the end of it, I'm going to be, for the first time, I'm going to be really disappointed.
Where's the show at? Salt Lake City?
Salt Lake City, yeah.
They're lucky it's not in New York because Cody would get booed out of the building.
Yeah, and it's not his
fault. And that's not a knock on him.
Yeah, it's not his fault. I mean,
not his fault.
A non-finish, but like literally, like if we talk about probably the best physique from size, from height to size with everything is Drew. He's a walking champion. Like this some bitch is big and he doesn't look like it's too big for his frame. He's the least believable challenger that you have. Like,
because he hasn't won. Chrome says it every week. He hasn't won a big match. He doesn't win a big match. He didn't beat Punk. He hasn't beaten Cody. Every big match that he has, he comes up short. So at some point, he becomes not believable, and it's unfortunate because, to your point, Pete, you look up champion wrestler in the dictionary, and there he is.
When Vince said that this dude was the future back in 2010, this is the body of Drew that he was talking about. Even if it's short, even if you just do it to Rumble, like you have to have this guy. You're going to have him on your roster. I think he re-signed an extension, right? Just give him something. Give him something, right? Yeah. It's beyond me. I think this year, and when we get into the top heel turns, right, based off the list, this year for WWE has been a lot of inception. Oh shit, this could be great. To the ball rolling off the table and then off of a cliff. With several things, and they've had great moments, but the capitalization and the execution past those moments has been very, very lackluster. Very lackluster.
Agreed. There's been a lot of substance, just not a lot of. It's a lot of excitement, only to be let down.
Yep. Yes. And as Eagles fans, it's almost like you have all this talent, you have a fucking Ferrari, and you driving this bitch like it's a Honda Civic that's a 2002. You know what I mean? All this talent, and it's just like, just give him the ball and go. Give him the ball and go.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, and obviously, so yeah, Cody will win. That's all I got to give to that conversation. Cody will win. We'll move forward. I don't know what you do with Drew. You got to move him somewhere. I don't know. I don't
know what you do with Cody at that point either. It's double shit because you don't believe Drew, and then what's next for Cody? Who?
Yeah, as we said last week, it's like what's next for either one?
Maybe this version of Solo. Maybe, but
not
I'm liking
yet.
this version of Solo, by the way.
Oh
yeah.
Safa's back. Appreciate you coming back, my friend. Says, why won't they let CM Punk turn heel? Is that he takes a lot of money to be left on the table, or Shay, I apologize. Money will be left on the table and hate turning Jay heel. I don't think either is turning heel.
Yeah.
I don't think either is turning heel. I think there's a tease of could Jay turn heel, but I don't think that's gonna be something that happens. I don't think the money's on the table with Punk to be heel. Everybody thought for years John Cena's there would be money on the table for Cena to turn heel, and obviously that got rejected after the initial coolness of seeing it, which, by the way, we're going to talk about in a few minutes.
If he does this to what you guys were talking about, if he's the one that goes to SmackDown and he's the one that challenges Cody, then yes, because you need an uber baby face to turn somebody like Punk heel.
I don't
even know if you need to.
You don't need to for those two. Like, we're on the same page.
Yeah, I don't think you need to, only because people know the history of those two,
right?
And they haven't really had that match where, in that situation, in that environment, in that that's a WrestleMania main event.
On that moment,
on that stage, they haven't had that match. But the story, kind of like we talked about with the story writing itself with Cena and AJ Styles, the story of Punk and Cody writes itself. It's there, and I think both can go in as baby faces, and you probably, just because if Cody stays the champion if that's what the WrestleMania match is going to be, I would imagine, especially the way it was in Vegas last year, Punk's getting uber cheered no matter if he's a heel or a face. I just think in that environment, they're gonna cheer Punk anyway, whether you make the turn or not.
I've said this since he came back. I'm tired. I'd probably never do it, but Cody carries himself. If I close my eyes and listen to him talk, how he holds the title, the suits, it's like I'm watching Flair from '88, and it just won't lean into it. Like he carries himself like a heel. From the way he looks, the way he holds the title, the way he talks. I mean, now it's different when he ran out. He'll do these run-ins in a tracksuit. Like, okay, that's a fix. You know what I mean? Like,
change.
But open, he want to wrestle and tussle and do nightmare kicks or disaster kicks in a $5,000 suit with $2,000 shoes on. Like,
Yeah.
I digress. I digress.
Yeah, he's another one. I don't have a desire to see Cody ever turn heel. I'm fine with how he is.
That's cool.
I think they just need to do a better job at. Well, they need to do a better job at building opponents for him, and that's their problem. And Eric's talked about this a million times. They have not built enough heels on SmackDown to have legitimately go up against him, and it's putting his title run into question. Yeah, you have something new, like shave his hair, put sleek look with gel as a hair.
I expected. I'm sorry.
Punk does change his hair every time you turn around.
Yeah, is you talking about? Is he talking about Punk? Or
He's talking about. He's talking Punk. There's she. I'm not sure what you are, Safa, but Safa talked about us with Punk last year, so I'm assuming that we're a big Punk fan. I just think that we're at the point where hair, beard, no hair. CM Punk is beyond heel and face. The people who love him are going to cheer him anyway. Like it's not like it was in 2008 and 2009 with the straight edge, the straight edge society and all of the different things he did to where like he's a way bigger star now. And I don't think they look at Punk in any way, shape, or form of, if we turn him heel, we're gonna like. At this point, I think the focus is on like people like Randy Orton. Like you're not.
They're above it.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
Because I was going to say, I think Orton's right on that same level.
Yep.
Like Randy Orton already works. He works as a face when he wants to be a face and a heel when he wants to be a heel, but he's the same guy every time.
Yep. Roman's the same way. Roman did not change.
No, he did not.
Roman is a heel, except for he likes the fans cheering him now.
I love that. That's the thing I can't stand in wrestling is when a heel is so over for what they're doing, they're getting cheered, and then they just change everything. Yeah. And not all at once, but eventually then they're like, their promos change, their style changes, and then nobody cares. And you've seen it throughout the years, and then they got to turn him heel again. So it's like
what I've done now.
I love
now in certain cases, like I would have loved to, on the levity of what we saw at WrestleMania 41 at night one, I think that warranted some sort of change for Seth, in my opinion, because that was so divergent of what we seen and who he was aligning himself.
Oh yeah.
But in most cases, like you said, when it's a heel and you're getting over, you're doing this, you're doing that, don't flip the switch and do a 360. You know what I mean? So, but
yeah. So we'll see. Final match of the night, triple threat match.
Mm-hmm.
Dom Mysterio defending against Penta and Rusev. Here we go. Here we go again. These two. I don't get it. Penta came in with so much momentum.
Yep.
And here we are. Penta continues to lose matches. On the flip side, we bring back Rusev. He's the character he was in AEW, which made you think, okay, I mean, it didn't work in two companies, but maybe now with Hunter running this, there's going to be something here.
Right.
And it ain't working. So I don't know why we're even having this match at this point.
If you're not going to take it off the Dom, so
I'd rather them I'd rather them put the tag team title match that's set for SmackDown next week, or was it Raw? Whatever, Raw. I don't even know. Like at this point, I'd rather the tag team title match on Raw.
The match that AJ's in.
Yeah, the AJ
Raw.
Dragon Lee match against Finn and
JD.
I'd rather see that on this card than this match.
Because of believability. Like they haven't made the challenge is believable. Like if you one of those matches with Rusev, right? Maybe the first one he does a low blow. This one here, you have him put him in the accolade, and he just doesn't let go. You have him get DQ'd, like or something to make Rusev feel like he has that moniker, like you said when he first came back. And then with Penta, it's just, I mean, I thought it was the chance. If you look at it, I think Dom is the next to Tiff. Dom is the longest running champion this year.
Yeah, he's had it for a while.
He's had it for going on what 6-7 months now. He won it at Mania.
First of all, I love that for Dom, but the fact that we have to say next to Tiff.
So
anyway, all right, yeah, go ahead. Get your point in because I would love to move on from this match.
No, real quick. So I think what Pete said earlier about somebody not needing the title. I don't think Dom needs the Intercontinental title anymore. I don't think so. And I think to your point, Chrome, these two guys, one of these guys could definitely benefit from a title. And it's one or the other. I would like to see a reign with Penta, but
I would love to see a reign with Penta.
Yeah, and that's also a way where Dom doesn't get pinned. He kind of gets cheated out of the like. It's kind of just been. It's ironic because he's been cheating his way through these wins anyway. So he finally gets cheated out, and then Adam Pearce is like, "Ha ha ha, joke's on you," and then they go from there. But I don't think that happens. I think Dom retains. I think he's going to pull something else out. But if they were to, I could see why.
I would rather, if it's not Dom, than Penta.
Yeah. Agree. Yeah. So that's our Saturday night's main event preview. I'm picking Dom to win the match. I would like it to be Penta. I think we're all on that same page.
Yeah.
So we wanted to dive into this. This is something that came out in March. And shout out to Don, who's always here for us on all of our A2D radio shows. Back in March, the WWE released a greatest heel turns it was like a top 30 or something, right? Over the last week, social media has kind of picked back up on it. So we weren't on the air, right? So we never really talked about it. And we wanted to have a fun topic to talk about. So I have listed a number of turns that are not on this list, but I would love to take a look at WWE's list first. So let's do that.
And we're talking just the initial turn, not how it ended, just the initial turn.
I believe it has initial turn on there because if you look at number 1,
there
you go.
You're going to look at it in 1 second. So, okay. Let me get the banner off here. Okay. So WWE ranked their 10 here, and I'll read it off. So at number 10, Triple H attacks Daniel Bryan, leading to Randy Orton cashing in Money at the Bank. Number 9, Nikki Bella turns on Brie Bella. Number 8, Jimmy Uso turns on Jey Uso. Number 7, Becky Lynch turns on Charlotte Flair at SummerSlam. Number 6, Xavier and Kofi turn on Big E. Number 5, Dom turns on his father, Ray. Number 4, Shawn Michaels turns on Marty Jannetty, which is one of the standards of heel turns, let's be honest. Number 3, Seth Rollins turns on the Shield, another standard. Number 2, Hogan joins the NWO. And in a clear sign of recency bias, John Cena turns on Cody Rhodes as the number 1. And I loved the John Cena heel turn in the moment that it happened.
Yes.
I take that moment and I put it up in the same exact level of another really famous heel turn that happened at WrestleMania 17, where Steve Austin joined Mr. McMahon, screwed The Rock at WrestleMania 17. The execution was great. The follow through, not so much. This is today's modern day version of that, right?
Yep. How you can have what's number two as number two on any list is ridiculous.
Okay, I agree. I want you guys to let's get your thoughts on it. There's the first thought, and then I'm going to throw out other ones, but I want to see what you guys think because there's a lot on the list that I don't mind. I didn't rank them number wise. I could tell you for me, the Hogan heel turn is not just the biggest heel turn of all time. It's the biggest moment, the most shocking moment in professional wrestling history.
Yes.
Only closely followed maybe by the Undertaker streak ending as something that you could put in there. But I don't understand. Maybe because it wasn't their company at the time, even though they own it now. But I mean, this is before Hogan died. And I imagine if they did it now, they might even be one. But the recency bias that happened on this list is crazy to me. And I love that. I would put that on the top 10.
Right.
But maybe number 10. I want to get, what do you got here? What do you think?
So we're talking WWE and what WWE owns, right? So we're not going outside and New Japan, AEW.
Yeah, so there's no New Japan, there's no AEW. You know, when I put a couple down, I thought, man, I mean, they work with TNA. Imagine they're going to own them at some point. Maybe I throw that in there, but obviously they didn't include that. It's simply things that WWE has owned. Now,
one big one that stands, well, two that stand out to me: Corporate Rock.
That's a good one.
That's a real good one.
And Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn at NXT.
It's a good one. Underrated. That's a really good one.
I mean, also say, I would probably, for what it did at the time and how shocking it was, I would probably take off number 6 and probably put Ciampa turning on Gargano too.
That's a good one. I think it's it's not the bigger names.
Yeah.
But the way that was done,
what it led to.
That was brutal.
Yeah. Oh my God.
That was a vicious attack.
Yeah.
What do you got?
I got a couple old school ones and then I got a more recent one. Flair turning on Dusty in the cage.
Good one.
Turning on the basically creating the Horseman with Arn and Ole attacking Dusty and they locking him in the cage and beat the snot out of him. Also, Horseman, Barry Windham turning on Lex Luger.
I was going to do it.
JJ pulling the strings and they were the tag team champions, I think, at the time, weren't they? They were the tag champs.
They were the tag champs.
Wyndham's like, nope, I'm done. Another one that I really love, it's just sentimental, is Macho Man turning on Hogan.
Okay.
On Saturday Night's Main Event. I got one more.
How is that not on the list?
Right. Throws Elizabeth.
Yep.
And then Hogan comes out.
The mega powers explode. I mean,
yeah, man. Yeah, man. One recent one that I completely forgot about, and it's ironic because it's almost 7 years to the day. So if you remember the Monday Night Raw where Roman came out and said he had leukemia, that night, Ambrose and Rollins defended the tag team titles, and Ambrose turned on Rollins.
Yeah, it's right. I forgot.
Now he with the paradigm shift in the ring and on the floor.
And then he just went. He went to town on him. That is kind of one that you would put on the execution after bucket, where the shock value is there, but afterwards, I think would he wear like one of those like gas masks, and it just didn't work. And then I think before he was gone, that was they went up turning him back anyway, or I forget exactly what happened, but the shock value of that, I think, and the ironic Roman making that announcement, I think, just threw everybody off on that night. But those are and the WrestleMania 17 one, that one, it's a crime that one's not on the list because nobody saw Austin doing that at all.
And there's more. There's more. I got a list.
There's definitely more.
There's one big one I'm thinking about that's happened within the last 20 years. That should be on this list.
Oh, I got one. Oh, I got one. Pete, you want to go?
Mine is Chavo turning on Eddie.
Ooh, that is a good one. I got HBK turning on Hogan on 4th of July to lead up to after their tag match to set up SummerSlam.
So good one in terms of two iconic characters.
Right.
I wouldn't put it on a list anywhere. I think for our generation, it was a cool moment. I got a couple really good ones for you. First of all, and we have to look at the technicality. It doesn't have to be this specific, like he started in this moment as a face. How about Roman going out for leukemia and coming back in 2020 to attack everybody
I was going to say that because
as a heel?
Right. Nobody knew what he was, and then it wasn't. I don't even think that was the moment. The moment was when they panned the camera and you saw him Heyman there. That was the moment.
Yes. I mean, but that's what it was supposed to be, right? How do we not go Roman as a heel? By the way, how do we not go? You think you're getting a DX reunion and Triple H attacks Shawn Michaels?
Oh yeah,
setting up the HBK return in the ring, guys. Like it literally kickstarted Shawn Michaels' entire second phase of his career, which was better than the first phase.
Yeah.
I mean, that's to me, it's like, and speaking of Shawn Michaels' personal favorite, Chris Jericho putting his head through the Geritron 6000.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that was in 08. That's another great one. What else I got here? I mean,
I got another old school one.
You guys hit that. I got two more, and then you hit yours here. This is just one I liked the execution, right? I mean, I don't think the long-term meant anything, but the storyline leading up to WrestleMania 20 with Jericho and Christian and the whole, like, courting the ladies, and they have this bet.
Oh, yeah, Trish.
Then Jericho falls for Trish, and then Trish turns on him, joins Christian. They make out in front of his face. Anyway, that was a great one. And to me, again, the fact that this is not on this list is an absolute crime to me. The double turn at WrestleMania 13 for Bret Hart and Steve Austin. That is a kickoff point for the Austin era, hitting that next level. And for Bret Hart, basically setting the tone for what his feud with Shawn Michaels was going to be leading into the Montreal Screwjob. It is such a pivotal heel turn in professional wrestling that it is a crime that is not on that list.
I've got two horrible ones when going back, but they're fun because
you love bad ones that are fun though.
So SummerSlam '94, Tatanka versus Lex Luger. Everybody thinks everybody thinks Luger's the one that sold out, and Tatanka every week, you sold out, Lex, you sold out. Sold out to the $1 Million Man. And Tatanka winds up taking the money and running with the $1 Million Man. That one's always fun. The other one, 1992, Sid Justice turns on Hulk Hogan. The Sid Justice gets cheered at the Royal Rumble, and they have to change the audio to show that and the announcer team to legitimize Hogan back as a babyface, and then he didn't get booed.
And Hogan has a damn heel. Like what?
And Hogan's the heel. Yeah, Hogan was the heel, holding his arm, helping him out, throwing him out, and then Sid going off at the press conference when he doesn't become the number one contender. Poor Sid got screwed.
Oh yeah.
And then he winds up leaving him in the tag match on Saturday Night's Main Event. And then the best is the next day at the barbershop when he gets the shaving cream all over his face.
R.I.P. to Sid, man. What a great time having. We were very fortunate to have Sid on our show, and he talked.
Where's Hulk Hogan?
Hulk Hogan. I hate you, Hulk Hogan. So good.
Yeah, I mean, whatever he did, he tried to execute it well. Wasn't always well thought out to execute. Like he was in it. He was in it. I'll give you one good one from NWA. It's an infamous moment, and we probably hadn't seen anything like this on TV. We saw WWE try to do something during the pandemic recently involving this body part, but I'm gonna go Road Warriors and Dusty Rhodes when they took the spike to the eye.
Oh
That's a good one. That's a real good one.
Yeah,
That is a real good one.
because I didn't know those spikes were removable by that point. Nobody knew that.
I have two that just popped in my head, and I can't believe that we didn't think of these either. Obviously, when Paul Heyman turned on Brock Lesnar to join Big Show,
That was Survivor Series 01.
that's a big one. Was it 02? It was 02.
02.
It was the year they did the
02.
first. It was the year they did the first Elimination Chamber, and then, I mean, you talked about going into the new generation, Eric. Paul Bear turning on the Undertaker.
Oh,
at
yeah.
SummerSlam. I mean,
Oh yeah.
the fact that that's not on the list is an absolute atrocity as well. You could go Owen Hart turning on Bret Hart at Royal Rumble.
And he kicked his leg into my leg into your leg.
So, like, again, I'm looking at this list, right? Like, all right,
So fun.
like I think 2, 3, 4, 100% should be. You could make an argument for 5, depending on where Dom ends up. Although I don't love the execution of that, because I knew and I
You can kind of see it.
it's
The build-up
documented.
of it.
I knew exactly what was going to happen. It wasn't shocking. It wasn't surprising. I do think it's going to be proving to be a pivotal moment in his career, but I didn't love it. I didn't love the New Day turn on Big E personally. It wasn't my bag. I know some people liked it. I did. Becky and turning on Charlotte was awesome, but ultimately ended up not really being a turn. It made her more of a face.
Right.
So I would take that off the list just for that.
I think that Xavier and Kofi was necessary, and
It was, but I didn't like the execution of it.
Well, let's say at first the execution was pretty solid, but now they've gone back to what they were doing before. But they're just heels. They're kind of a comic act, but they're heels. Like, it's like you're doing the same thing in a sense, but now you're just a heel instead of a baby face. But
at number 10, I don't remember the lead into how Trips was acting to even consider that a heel turn.
So,
really? Oh, that was good.
I don't remember it. Like, I don't know if he was hyping Daniel up at that point.
So
he was
go ahead, Chrome.
He was the special guest referee. It was him. It was Cena and him.
But I'm saying, I remember that, but the lead,
and then he was raising his hand, and then he hit him. He turned his back and he hit him with the pedigree. Like, he was making a big deal. Right? Like, oh, he had this big moment, yeah, and he was doing the yes, yes, yes with Brian, and then Brian like goes up towards the ropes, and then he turns around. Hunter hits him with the pedigree, and then Randy comes in, hands him and he has that straight face where he goes. Randy comes in, hands it to him, and he hands it to the timekeeper, and he says, "Ring it." And obviously,
I mean, it's Trips, so I don't. To me, he's always been a heel, so I don't.
That was a good one.
Yeah,
that was a really good one.
Like, that was a good. Obviously, like it wasn't really a heel turn, but you could have went to like when they turned on Randy Orton, but it wasn't really a heel turn. It was just them kicking him out of the group, right?
Yeah. Right. That's like
anyway.
That's like when Sid turned on Shawn after WrestleMania. They were both heels, but Sid just had enough.
Another good one. I just thought about that revolving Shawn. Not Shawn, no so much, but it was somebody close to Shawn. But when Diesel turned on Brett, that was a Survivor Series.
Oh yeah,
95.
Survivor Series 95.
Yeah,
95.
Hit him with the camera, right? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. He just lost the title, and then he just snapped on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you think about like this list, we're talking about like who has had more people turn heel against them? Is it Shawn? Is it
well, I mean, listen,
Taker?
Big Show's jumped back and forth 1,000 times.
Big Show and Kane.
I'll say this. Speaking of Big Show, underrated one. We obviously knew that you had Hogan, Hall, and Nash. You go back to that point at WCW, and that was really the kickstart of when you didn't know it was going to show up, where NWO is kicking everyone's ass, and they come and he goes, and Bischoff, of all people, does the
no.
He goes, here comes the giant, look out, NWO. And then you hear Tenay say, "Thank God for the giant."
Thank God for the giant.
And then he says, "Yeah, the giant, look out." And then he goes, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa. The giant.
No.
Did he? That was on Savage, wasn't it?
That was
yeah, I
it was
think you're
Savage.
I think you're right.
That
Yeah.
was on Savage. Yeah.
Luger, I think, was a part.
Here comes
yeah,
the
that's
giant.
No.
No. No.
The over the top.
Oh,
Oh,
Dynasty.
my goodness.
Dynasty. That is one I totally forgot about. Oh, dude.
Let's throw it up here.
Bob Backlund turning on Brett. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That's a good one, Mr.
That was on a
Backlund.
Superstars. He got a
Dynasty,
title
that's a
match
great
and he
one.
lost and he smacked him and then he put him in the chicken wing. Oh, that was good call out.
That wasn't. Thanks, baby. That's my lady there, dropping some love.
We know.
Thank you.
That's a good one right there, though. I mean, I'm telling you.
And then he does the. Oh, Rue's gonna be mad at me for not pointing that one out. That's one of our faves. I put a chicken wing on a kid in school because he dared me to.
First of all, I used to do it to my sisters all the time, but I have a picture from Money in the Bank 2013. Bob Backlund was there, and it was like $20 or whatever, and they did like one of those like digital WWE cover magazines. They spelled my name wrong on it. They put EAL instead of AEL, but he legit put the cross-faced chicken wing on me.
Did it hurt?
Oh yeah,
That fucking hurt.
fight it.
Like, I can't even say it without dropping the F. It hurt. Like, and so his face in the picture and my face,
It's legit.
although cool looking for a pose, was indeed not a pose. It was legitimate where I was like, dude, you're fucking hurting my arm. Like, please let me go. I almost had to tap out, but I'm grateful for the picture. It's an awesome looking picture in hindsight. And he didn't crack my shoulder. But yeah, I was put in the Bob Backlund version of the chicken wing.
No, he procured it. He procured it on you.
He procured
You
it.
plebeian.
I don't even know if I still don't know if I know what the hell a plebeian is. That was good stuff. Yeah, that was good.
Awesome.
A lot of really good heel turns, though. Oh man, this was fun, and we were talking about maybe adding a segment of something like this, like going forward. Maybe not every single week,
Right.
but randomly. Real quick, I do want to throw this in there. Programming alert to everybody out there. I teased it on our social media. We have booked a guest to come in and join us next Thursday at 6 p.m. for a 30-minute sit down with us. Not come in, but obviously join us online. Very excited for this one.
Oh.
All right. We're gonna be welcoming current NWA superstar. We've been fortunate enough to have quite a few NWA stars on here. We've had Brian Idol. We've had EC3. Happy to have Aaron on now as well. Everybody knows Aaron Stevens, also known by WWE fans as Damian Sandow. We're going to have him on 30-minute conversation. We're going to touch on a couple of things with him. We want to talk about his time with Cody. We're going to talk about time with the Money in the Bank. What are we going to talk about, Eric? What's the best thing that was going at the time?
The stunt double stuff. Oh my God.
Oh,
The best version of Miz ever.
Miz now, yes. Oh my God.
That was the most entertaining thing. We're going to ask him about the stunt double stuff. And also we want to make sure that we talk to him about what's going on with NWA, because he's been working in NWA. He's been a manager. He works in in-ring talent sometime. So it's going to be great. And we want to ask him about his thoughts on the John Cena farewell tour. Why wouldn't we? He's a guy who was around for John's time there. And then I think getting some insight on some people, especially somebody who, we haven't really seen talk a whole lot about these kinds of things, would be a really good opportunist time. So we are going to have our regular show next week on Tuesday, where we are going to recap Saturday night's main event. May not be an hour and a half show or an hour show. We may just literally recap it and call it a day because we're coming at you as well on Thursday. So just a reminder, programming alert on A2D social media or on the Lazy Booking YouTube page the next day or later on in the evening that night. We'll drop a replay of it. But you will be able to check out our 2 shows next week. So want to thank Pete for joining us this week,
thanks,
buddy.
Pete.
Thank you for having me.
Good show tonight, guys.
So this was a lot of fun. We knew once we got to the heel turn stuff.
We could go another like 5 hours with that stuff.
What?
Be cracking each other up.
Absolutely. Not even. Oh, look at look at that.
I'm about to
sexy
say,
man.
hey, who turned it into a solo? Talk about a heel turn, Eric.
He got as good.
You can't turn heel if you're already heel. Look at my damn name. You can't turn heel if you've already been heel. But no, listen, great time. Thank you to our sponsor, Dr. Paul Vidal and his team at Specialized Physical Therapy. You can check them out there or in their physical locations. And again, thank you to everybody out there who commented, liked, subscribed. Continue to do that
guys.
if you haven't yet.
Thanks, guys and ladies.
Share
Appreciate it.
Yeah, share it on the social media page. If you're in a group wrestling group and they like podcasts, share it out there, guys. We love to have some new faces pop in. We've been seeing it over the last couple of weeks, and we got a lot of fun stuff coming up. We're working on something special for John Cena's, like the lead-in to the Saturday night's main event, December 13th, and the recap. So stay tuned. If this happens, it's going to be, I think, a really fun time to watch this show. If we can get on here who we may be able to get on here. So again, for myself, for Eric, for Arch, for Pete, Mr. OGPA, 2D. I always hate that. OGPA 2D. Throws me off. Pete, you'll see Pete tomorrow. They'll be doing Clips Don't Lie. We appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Tell somebody you love them out there and have a great week. And oh, by the way, clap your hands 10, 9, 8, and go Birds.
Yes, sir.
See you guys.